Skyler, man, welcome to Outside the Line podcast. My name is Lee Hughes with TNG Sports and Fitness. I heard a lot of great things about you, man. It's a pleasure to have a stellar student like yourself and a great quarterback in this county, not only county, state, to come join us on Outside the Line podcast. Warner Robins High School. What year are you? Are you senior now, right?
I'm a senior.
Senior now, okay. How many years have you been at Warner Robins?
I just transferred in this year.
Okay, where'd you come from?
North Murray, up in around the North Atlanta, North Georgia area.
Excellent. So you kind of get familiar with this area here a little bit.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay. So we see you have the volunteers on there, the Vols on. Explain to us how was was you able to visit? Were you able to talk to the coaches? How did that go for you?
So I went out there for a camp that the QB coach, Coach Hazel, ended up inviting me to. I got to talk to him, throw in front of him. At that time, I was going into my junior year. He had recruitment then with my school, smaller school, 2A.
Yeah.
So they were kind of just like talking to me, nothing really too heavy yet. And then once I transferred over, their, I want to say, tight ends coach came and talked to me, Trey Glover, and Rashawn Dinkins, I want to say.
Yeah. Okay.
And we had a conversation. He just said that, with me just coming in, transferring into Warner Robins, everybody's going to kind of like keep an eye on me, watch how the season goes, and just how like I play and how I progress.
I love it. Let's walk in.
Yes, sir.
Walk in here. Tell me one thing, man. That's so you played basketball, any baseball?
Yes, sir. So my dad played baseball, second baseman, I want to say.
Yeah.
Played. That was my main sport at first because my dad got us into baseball.
Right.
And I played until COVID hit. So when COVID hit, missed my baseball year.
Sure.
Then
Were
I
you
ended
pitching?
up. I was a pitcher and shortstop. Those were the main two things. I had to catch at times. Hated catching.
Really?
Knees would be hurting. But once I ended up going to transferring to a different middle school, I wanted to focus on getting ready for high school because I wanted to start as a freshman.
Exactly.
So I went to spring workouts, and before spring workouts, so I didn't get to play my 8th grade year in baseball. So I haven't played baseball since 7th grade.
Wow.
So that kind of ended my career short with COVID, but it's fine. Just enjoyed baseball whenever I had the chance.
We'll talk more about basketball once we get in. Right. Welcome to Outside the Line podcast. So Outside the Line podcast, remember, man, it's about outside the lines, talk about a lot of positive, outside personal stuff. We won't get too deep, but we like to talk about family. We like to talk about what are you doing in your off time, what are your hobbies and things like that. But right now we're going to show you what we call the Wall of Fame. Okay, used to have all these athletes on the wall, but we had to bring them down. And so once we get our new facility, everything going up on the wall.
Yes, sir.
So you actually get to be on the Wall of Fame. Check them out, man. See if you know anybody.
I just met Groot at the little 7-on-7 winter ball that I'm coaching.
Okay.
Then, I know Twan, teammate with Ike.
Right.
I got to meet DJ during the spring game, scrimmage game this year. Yeah. Since I'm new, I don't know nobody else.
You don't know nobody else. Okay. What about Amar?
I don't know.
He been out a year now. He was last year's quarterback for Perry. Jordan Donald.
Scoop. He played with my brother. My brother played at West Georgia.
Okay.
And now he's transferred and he plays at Limestone and he's having a really good year.
Sweet. What position, brother?
Tight end.
Tight end. Nice. He played basketball also?
Yes, sir. He played basketball.
How tall is he?
He's about 6'4".
Good stuff, man. Yeah. Let's go over to Outside the Line podcast. Let's walk in. See right there. I like that jam right there, man.
Yeah. That Future.
Yeah.
Always tough.
Yeah,
I always listen to Future.
No doubt. I actually never heard of that one. I never heard of that one. Is that new or older?
It's off his new mixtape,
Okay.
Pluto mixtape.
Okay.
It just dropped about 2-3 weeks ago.
That's why I hadn't heard it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug it now.
Most definitely need to listen to that whole mixtape. It was smooth.
Drinking no lean again. Don't even know what she is. Filipino, Korean.
Got water and Skittles, man. I don't know. Most people be on them Skittles, baby.
These the best.
That's on
This
you,
the best
baby.
flavor on.
That's the best flavor.
Yeah.
I thought about you. I was like, let me get this a different color here. See what's up.
Yeah, that's the best flavor for sure.
I go to party inside my crib, I'm from a Ferrari inside my crib.
So what about the so how long you been on Future, man? Since he dropped?
Oh, I've been
Years
on,
ago or what?
I've been on Future since. So I got into like music whenever I was about. When did Fetty Wap really start hitting?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's like that's when I really got into it. Cause I mean, like, you know, when you around your family and stuff, they had music at the like reunions, the cookouts, and everything you go to. But like,
Right.
I kind of just got into Future like at a young age because my brother, he 4 years older than me, so
Okay.
he was listening to Future before me.
Right.
And he's a big Uzi fan, and I like Uzi too. But
yeah,
you know, Future, he made a lot of songs with Uzi, and then I ended up listening to Future whenever he was listening to him, and I just became a Future fan.
That's what's up, man. What's up with the bling, man? You gotta look going, man.
You know, I find my ways to get my. We ain't gonna talk too much about how I get mine.
We ain't gonna talk about it. We ain't gonna talk about it, man. But check this out, man. Thank you for joining us on Outside the Line podcast. My name is Lee Hughes with TNG Sports and Fitness, and today we have a super exciting guest with us today. He's from Warner Robins, Georgia, Mr. Skyler Williams. He's the quarterback for the Warner Robins Demons. Introduce yourself, sir.
You know, play for Warner Robins High School, quarterback, just came in this year, transferred from North Murray High School up in North Georgia and Chatsworth, Georgia, and play quarterback, started as a freshman, played receiver and safety. My first 2 years, got the starting job at my old school, and then just stuck with quarterback ever since.
Okay.
All the way to middle school. Then I started playing receiver my freshman year, and then sophomore year, and like all-star whenever I was in Pop Warner. I played running back because you know they want their coach kid to play quarterback, so I ended up playing running back, and I've always been athletic. I was actually always short, like 5'4". Like I was 5'4" my 7th grade year.
Wow.
So I ended up shooting up to 5'9", 5'10", 8th grade year. Went into high school during spring. I was about the same height. Then I hit like the season at 6 foot, 6'1". I had like a weird running form, so I wasn't used to my body, and I was still playing receiver, but I was a little slow. But you know, hands always certified.
No doubt.
Always was reliable with catching. And then sophomore year, got the speed right, got the shiftiness, and then whenever I got the quarterback, I was already learning behind the quarterback that went to go play at Georgia State. He ended up quitting at Georgia State. He didn't want to play college ball no more, but he got the opportunity. I learned a lot from him. Very smart kid. Had a lot of IQ on the game. Taught me a lot, and then just helped me to get where I am now.
No doubt. Now, talking about his size, you know, when I walked up on Skyler, he looked every bit of 6'3", 6'4" to me. You know, maybe I'm getting a little shorter, but this guy's going to definitely be 6'4", 6'5" for us over. Probably hit a growth spurt over the summer. He feel like 6'3" to me. He said he's 6'2", 215. Is it 215? 210, 215.
Right now I'm probably at almost 220 right now.
220 right now, and he got wheels. You know, this guy, he's a running quarterback. He throw the long ball, and he's gonna break some tackles. So with that being said, how do you separate yourself from you know, sometimes they want this pocket quarterback, and sometimes, you know, they want this elite athletic quarterback that's running the ball. You know, who really are you, man? Are you dipping in both bowls or putting your hand in the cookie jar in both hands, or what?
So there was a little news guy, little sports analyst that talked about Jaden Daniels saying how people want to keep putting him in the picture of Lamar Jackson in this. And a lot of people say, oh, you like Lamar, you like Kyler, you like this and that.
Right,
but
right.
I mean, at the end of the day, I do what I got to do to win games.
That's what's
If winning the game is me running the ball,
right.
I'm going to run the ball.
Right.
If winning the game is me throwing the ball, I'm going to throw the ball. Like this last game against Ware County,
Right.
we ended up losing the game 24-21. Run game wasn't working very well.
Right.
Ended up passing, had a really good passing game,
Sure.
completing passes all over the field. I mean, I haven't had to do that all this year because our run game's been so elite.
Yeah.
And I mean, with me being able to run, that adds an extra level to our run game.
Yes.
So, I mean, I've always been a pass first guy. Whenever it comes down to it, I want to learn how to be a passer. I mean, my QB coach, Northside legend, Marquez Ivory.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's been teaching me like even better ways to read the field at a faster, quicker development. I mean, coming here has helped me a lot to prepare for college. I mean,
sure.
Just because of where our team's at, where the team's ability is at, and where my ability is at, I have to compensate for what we gotta use.
Sure.
Our receivers are young. We lost a full senior receiving core with Isaiah Canyon, Cam Flowers.
Right.
I mean, Jaw.
Oh man, you lost
Q,
a lot.
Lost all them guys, and I come in with a bunch of young guys. Got a freshman starting. Got other freshmen that have an opportunity to get in the game.
Exactly.
Got juniors, sophomores that never played snaps until this year. So they still got to develop, still got to learn, still got to get confidence. So a lot of it's been what's going to help us win games, and helping us win games is giving me the ball, letting me make plays with my legs. And when the time comes, I have to be a quarterback that has to be consistent, have a high completion percentage, and make the correct throw at the right time. And that's the main thing. I mean, you watch Patrick Mahomes this year.
Right.
They're undefeated.
Right.
I don't know how they're doing against the Raiders tonight, but they're undefeated, and he's having more interceptions and touchdowns.
Right.
And people are saying he's not playing good, yada yada. But Tom Brady even said, talking about Patrick Mahomes, yes, he's making mistakes and stuff, but he's lost players, lost receiving core. And the thing about him is that at the end of the day, he's making the winning play. When it comes down to third down and important times, he's making the play to get that conversion. He's making the play to win the game and get his team to be able to win a game, no matter how bad or how good he plays.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I just look at it. If I'm having a bad passing game, when it comes down to it, I got to make this pass to get us this first down to win the game. I'm going to make that pass. That's how I try to just play and just do what I got to do to win games.
I love it, man. I love it, man. Just hearing how you articulate everything and how you process the game is amazing. So it's all about the win. It's not about throwing for the long ball or actually scouting it, running anywhere. You mentioned Ware County. I think you and I reached out to you prior to that Ware County, and I kind of apologize for that. Like, apologize and I don't apologize, because we really wanted to get you on the podcast. But I knew it was a critical time when you was probably watching film, you was probably getting ready, studying, getting ready for the game. But at the same time, I appreciate you taking the time out. Just send me 1 or 2 notes saying, hey, I'll be there. And we gave you the time to get ready for the game. With that being said, you guys went down there and lost, right? 24-21. Is there anything you could have done different during that game to ice that game?
So we're in a position where it's fourth down and I want to say 3 or 5. We called a play called glance glow. I went to throw the out route, right? And this is third down. Guy jumps up the defense end, deflects it, so it comes down to the fourth down. This gives us, if we convert this, we can go down and we can take the lead, because it's at this time, I want to say 21. No, we'll tie. So it's 21-13.
Right.
And it's a fourth down drive. So I'm like, all right, we call glow. And I went to drop back, because how they're playing, they've been playing a cover 4 or off cover cover 1 the whole time. So I was sitting here reading it. I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna hit this out route quick. We have my tight end Jordan Addy right there. Drop back into it, threw the pass, and ended up safety drove down on it and complete. Got the fourth down conversion. They got the stop on it. So
stop on it.
I mean, the main thing in that position right there is I wish I would have been able to understand the situation. I knew they were going to drive on it, and I was too much in a rush, because they brought a little bit of pressure on that play. I should have sat there and known that they were going to bring pressure, found a lane, got the first down with my legs, moved on with the play, because, I mean, they had it manned out. They played the go ball right. They played the out route well, so I should have sat there, saw that, moved off to it, got into the lane, because there was a running lane for me, and I could have took it for first down, maybe even more, might have been able to take it to the end zone.
Right. So basically, you was trying to save your legs and stay in the wheel of the game, and decided to hold off on your legs.
Yes, sir. They kind of they went off of their tendencies. They've always played off. They never really drove down on anything.
Exactly.
And safety made a very good play. He saw my eye, saw where I went, because on glow it's really it's a 2-in-1 read. So you basically just read, quick drop. If that corner sits, you throw the whole shot to the go ball. Right. But if the corner bails, he went and followed the out route. Right. Followed the go ball. So I threw the out route, and the safety drove down on it very well. Right. Got the deflection. He played it really nice. It happens. We had another opportunity to win the game. There was like 7 minutes left, but like what a lot of coaches will say, it's not, you don't ever know when that game-defining play is going to be. It could be 1, 2, 3. It's never really one play, but one play can end up starting to snowball, cause the effect. And we had a lot of plays. We killed ourselves that game. At the end of it, if you watch the film, you look at the stats, we could have won that game 42-7.
Come on, man.
Like, we go in first drive. We get stopped, 3rd and long, had a penalty that set us back to like 3rd and 12, I want to say. Dropped back, sat there. Good ball down the middle. We ended up dropping a touchdown pass. Got it over the defenders. They all hit and collided. If we catch it, he's running for the end zone, 70-yard touchdown. Right. They don't score on that first drive because I'm also our punter now. So I had a bad punt, shanked it, got it on the I think it was our side of the 40. They got it on the 40 and went down and scored. So I don't see them scoring that, because they only scored one other time the entire game from an actual full long length drive. Our defense played amazing. And like I told my defense at the end of the game, I told them word for word that as an offense, this is on us. This is on me as the leader of the offense. If our defense is holding a team below 28, 35 points, it's on me every time that we lose this game, because as a quarterback, I have to be able to score around 28 to 35 plus points a game. I have to be in that average. And whenever I don't, it's on the offense. That's how I kind of look at it. If we end up losing a game 45-42, then there's a conversation on what happened defensively, but they held them well. We didn't capitalize on anything.
So let me ask you this then: Is it do you hold your teammates accountable different, or do you speak to them in a different way if you're winning games versus losing games, or is there a certain approach, or is it just an individualized game that tells you how to approach your teammate, and how do you keep their spirits up? How do you keep their motivation going, even though after a tough loss?
So after like every game, there's you can't go every game how you went the last game. Every loss, you can't come with the same type of energy every loss as you went the last one, because there's different reasons why you might have lost the last game that you got to talk about. But main thing is you got to always let them know. You got to keep them accountable. You can't just sit there and tell them, hey, you're all right for making this mistake, this and that. There's a part of accountability, but then also a part of not sitting there and getting them unconfident. You got to find the middle point of it. And whenever I was talking to him, I try to always let him know. I get into him and I'll let him know, especially mid-game or like on the sideline, we're under that tent. I'm talking to him. I'm pretty loud. I'm pretty like vocal about it. But then I let him know, I believe in you. I still believe in you. You're still going to get the ball. You're still going to get your opportunity. It don't matter if you drop this pass, the next pass, or the next. If you're open, that ball is coming to you. So just make the play. And that's how I just try to let them know whenever they drop passes, or if our O-line misses a block. I definitely, whenever it comes to O-line, I'm very, very, very vocal, but very, very trustworthy in my O-line. Because my O-line, they do everything for us. I let them know all the time before we go into every week. We don't win without y'all. We need y'all to have a great week. When they're having a bad week, I'm letting them know. Then the main thing is, like ROC, Coach Hazel says all the time, he always tells us there's no point of him yelling and screaming on Friday night. I'm going to do all that yelling and screaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because if you're not going to get it right Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's not going to be right Friday. It all adds up, all starts together. And I'd say that it starts right after the game ends. How do you carry yourself after this loss? And I think we've been carrying ourselves pretty well. Right after the loss, me and some of the guys hit the field yesterday, got some throws in, got some running in, just making sure everybody's good mentally and everybody's straight in the head.
So what I'm feeling right now is like a sense of a lot of maturity in you. I'm sensing a lot of that. I know you're a senior and you should be at this point, but I've had some seniors to come. They didn't see that. I get some seniors to get on here, and they're not as vocal, and they're not as I don't want to say as mature. I feel some maturity here. It could be from the goatee there. It's a little thick, you know. But I can appreciate you coming in and being very vocal and telling me exactly what we need for the podcast. But let me ask you about this, man. You know, we talked about Ware County, and I think you'd have been in a different situation if you guys would have actually won that game, because you had the state champs coming up real soon.
Yeah. So
how's that gonna pan out when you're going against Perry?
So I mean,
what's the approach?
Main thing going on, if we win that game, it's region championship talk. We ended up losing.
Exactly.
We're out of the region championship talk. Perry ended up winning it.
Right.
But like everybody said going into this, it doesn't matter who's the 1, 2, 3, or 4 in our region. Our region is so
you're sitting at 4 right now.
We're sitting at 4, and we're gonna, unless unless they lose the next 2, we'll end up being 3. But
right.
If we're talking how it most likely will go, we'll probably be the 4 seed. And I'm actually very excited to be a 4 seed.
Right.
Because you get to do a lot. You get to be the underdog every game you go. And I love going on the road. I like going on the road, visiting new stadiums, so it don't bother me. But main thing is coming in with the mentality going against Perry is that we know we just a few plays away from being undefeated this year.
Right.
We're a few plays away from being undefeated, being the region champs this year, being a 1 seed and winning 15-0. That's how this season has gone. Every game we've lost, going from the first game with Lee County to Benedictine to Ware County. It's just a few plays. I mean,
Houston County. I mean, you blew through Houston County.
Houston County.
And how did Houston County and Perry pan out?
Houston. Oh yeah, exactly. That panned out not so well for Perry. I mean, like that's just how the game of football is. It's anybody can win it any given night. And going into this game against Perry, we know that we belong to be the region champs, and this is really a region championship game. Even if we win, we're not going to get it.
Right.
We know if we can take care of Perry, that speaks a lot of volumes about our team. And going into this playoffs, I want to get this win so we have momentum going against. I think we're going up against Marist up in North Atlanta.
Okay.
And that's going to be a very, very difficult game. And that team, not very flashy, not very they're a bunch of white boys, and they're very fundamental, very disciplined. And that's one thing that I will say about our team. It's the discipline aspect that we're just still growing and maturing in. You know, playing.
So basically, you're saying you need more discipline.
More discipline. Okay. So main thing with us is that Warner Robins very athletic. We have Isaiah Gibson, Rashawn Dinkins, a bunch of athletes with Nick Linder, and I mean we got a full team of athletes. We got a 3 system back, and I mean even the past years when they went 6 in a row into the state championships, and I mean very athletic teams.
No doubt. And
they're usually more athletic than every team they play. But there's a point where you got to look at the record going 6 in a row, 2-6 in the state championship.
Right.
And that's not throwing any shot to anything.
No doubt.
But at the end of the day, discipline's a big factor. Penalties, jumps, offsides, drop passes, missed cues, missed blocks, blown assignments in run fitting, blown assignments in coverage. That all leads to discipline and how you carry yourself on a day-to-day aspect. I mean, we're still growing in that aspect of being more disciplined. And the thing about discipline is it's a full season thing. It just keeps growing throughout the season, because at the beginning of the season, you're going to have your errors. And it just keeps growing. It keeps growing. I mean, we're growing and we're getting better at being a more disciplined team. And I believe most of the players are starting to buy in to the discipline. And that's the reason why when people ask about the losses, I say the losses are really a blessing in disguise, because it's letting our guys understand that we got to be disciplined. We got to improve.
Actually, how's your coach taking that? Coach Shane, how's he? I mean, you're saying we need to be more disciplined, but is it truly the freshmen and the sophomores that we have on the team, or is it that coaching staff that they need to tighten up a little bit? Or and I know he's an excellent coach for sure, but what really does it come down to?
So I mean, it comes down to players.
Right.
It's all players buying into what the coaches are saying. We've had meetings. I mean, I'm big on being vocal with what the players are saying and reiterating it back to the coaches, because if you don't have someone that's going to bridge what the players are thinking to the coach, you're not going to grow. That's just a disconnect.
Exactly.
So I try to always be that person that's going to let coach know, hey, what are the players feeling? How are the players feeling about certain things?
Exactly.
And I'll let them know. I mean, there's some things, of course, some players going to have real.
No doubt.
So I won't say that, but
Right.
like whenever it comes to like some of the players aren't buying into the discipline. Like if we have a big group of the players not buying into it, I'll let coach know. We had meetings about it. We've had team meetings talking about how we have to buy into discipline. He showed on film when discipline's lost us games. And I think when he showed the proof and how he explained it, because one thing about me is a lot of the guys think we can win games just being more athletic. And whenever I try to explain it, I went to a school that wasn't the most athletic. White school, a lot of unathletic players. I mean, we were going up against very athletic teams, and we'd end up beating teams that people would say we didn't have business being on the field with because we're so disciplined. So now just imagine you put Warner Robins. I believe we're probably one of the most athletic teams in the state in 4A.
Right.
And you add that discipline factor with us, there's no way we're going to end up losing this whole thing. We'll be more disciplined. We're not making mistakes, and we buy into what the coaches are saying, because the game plan, whenever they break it down and you watch what they're talking about, it's just the little discipline mistakes that we make that make the game plan look like bad play calling or missed assignments that you can blame on the coaches, but at the end of the day, it's really on the players just not buying into what the coaches are saying.
Exactly.
And I mean, like you were talking about, it's just a maturity level of the seniors, and it starts with the seniors. It starts with Big Ike, and it starts with Duke, and it starts with me, and it starts with our center with Chase Plank, and then it starts with our captain of the defense, CEO Duke. Talking to them, they end up growing, and whenever they start maturing and understanding that discipline is the way we're gonna have to win games, because we can't just keep our athletic being more athletic than everybody, because of the fact that if we're having penalties that are killing us, we're not in the correct position to be an athlete. If we don't run the right route or we don't be in the right spot, you can't be an athlete if you're just blowing coverage.
You mentioned this school, your previous school. Is it North Mary's Judson?
Judson Petty, yes.
Okay, Judson Petty. Explain to me, I mean, you was talking about discipline and how you guys still won games, but you wasn't that athletic. Was it the locker room coming along with that? Because a lot of times it's the coaches in the locker room that decides what's going to happen on that field. Could you give me a little snippet about this team here and how you've learned from this team moving forward to Warner Robins and possibly into college?
So, North Murray 2A school, very small school with not very many players. We had like 60-something players on the team.
Okay.
A lot of both-way playing, but a lot of the guys played together at a young age. Growing up, I didn't. I joined them my freshman year. I played in Calhoun, which is about 30, 45 minutes away from Chatsworth.
Right.
And the thing about North Murray is that they were very, very understanding. They bought into what Coach was saying. Coach Preston Pogue at North Murray is a very good coach. He's very good at getting his players to do what he wants at a T. He's very good at communicating that. Right. And the players, especially the seniors, were very mature and understood that they can't win games doing it their own way, because they're playing teams that are more athletic, playing players more athletic. They got to go through the scheme. I mean, whenever you are very good at scheming teams up with how he schemed teams up with his offense and stuff, I mean, it makes it very easy to be disciplined. I mean, we'd go into practices, 3-4 hour practices, and they would just drag even longer because of we're jumping off sides, we're doing this, and we just be out there for longer and longer if we don't end up changing that.
Right,
and
exactly.
It starts from spring.
So I feel like that's where that discipline comes from. I think that's where that maturity comes from. You kind of brought that to Warner Robins. So I think you've had that for a while now. If you could go through the plaques for me. We have one here, Dalton Daly, Citizen Player of the Week. When was this? 2023. What do you remember about this actual plaque here?
So I want to say that was my third game. So first game ended up not playing too great. My first game starting at quarterback. I had 2 picks that game and ended up going into the next game, had a really big game. But that game, we just went into the week knowing that we can run the ball on them and throw the ball on them. It just ended up turning out me throwing for 234 and passing for 250. I mean,
wow.
running for 257.
You ran for 257?
250,
Come
257
Oh
and
my
threw for
God.
234 with 7 total touchdowns.
Come on, Sky.
And that was just a good game. I mean, everything just went right that game.
Man, I'm looking at this one right here. Georgia High School Football Daily Player of the Week, Mr. Skyler Williams, Warner Robins High School. Senior quarterback Skyler Williams was 15 of 19 passing for 154 yards and a touchdown, and rushed for 151 yards and 3 touchdowns. At the end of the game, he had the winning on the game winning at 2:11 left to ice Houston County 54-44. That was a pretty big game, man. I mean, Houston County, if we really think about it, they got one of the best quarterbacks out there in the state, man. You know, he was actually on our podcast. He's a really nice guy, man. He put in the work. He's been recognized kind of highly now. How was you able to get past that guy, man?
So before I came here, there was a few games I've had circled. One of the games we didn't end up getting to schedule. I tried to get coach to schedule Carrollton because I wanted to go up against the top quarterback.
Right.
And I wanted to go against the Juju Lewis guy, but we didn't end up scheduling him. Lee County, a top school, had that game circled. I was like, I want to prove myself that game. Went out there, game didn't go statistically as well as it should have. We had some drop passes, just young receivers.
Sure.
But I had a lot of big plays in that game that ended up getting people to know who my name. So, but going into this game was very, very big for me. I had it circled.
Was it personal?
Oh, it was personal because I trained at Brick by Brick with Coach Earl.
Oh yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, it's a very nice guy. He's a great guy.
Putting that work in.
And he told me, because he trains a lot of the Houston County guys,
right?
And he told me that they've been talking a lot, doing all that rah-rah, saying that
he boosted you up.
Yeah, they saying that they wasn't worried about this game. They wasn't worried about me. They said that they was talking about the next week.
What?
I was like,
so they looking over you guys.
Yeah. So I went into that game already saying I had this game circled to go against Mr. Four-Star Antoine.
Mr. Four-Star Antoine.
I was like, I'm trying to get me some stars. So
I know,
went
right?
into that game, and I mean, we knew going into it because after the what game was before that? Northside. After the Northside game, right whenever I walked in that locker room, I walked up to Coach Hazer and I told him, "Hey, this is the game I've been waiting for.
Exactly.
I'm on.
Right.
Get this game plan for me."
So let me ask you this, man. What's the separation between you and Antoine? I mean, I don't want to compare you two guys. I mean, he's an excellent quarterback, and I've seen some amazing things from yourself. You have a great statue. Your numbers are proven. What is the difference between you and Antoine being he's a 4-star and we're still working our way up to getting some good recruiting?
So recruitment's all about connections, all about who you know, and who the guy that you know knows at the college level. That's how recruitment works. So going from a school where I didn't get much recruitment, the school that I played at, Lam McConkey, he played at Georgia.
Oh, yeah,
now at the Chargers. He played there. And so recruitment I thought was going to be pretty good there, but I mean, I didn't get no recruitment going on. Oh, yeah? Hey, I don't know how his fantasy points work.
Exactly.
He ain't on mine. But I mean, it was just who everybody knows. I mean, like, if you got the connection, it's going to end up working out for you. Antoine got the connection.
He hadn't got in. No, to remember that.
Yeah.
In the fantasy.
But Antoine got connections going on. I mean, I just haven't had connections my 3 years. I mean, going here, I've started getting connections. The coaches got me in front of a lot of college coaches. I got to throw in front of JMU, got the offer from JMU February. So,
okay.
I mean,
anything coming up?
I mean, right now.
What are you pushing out there? What are you doing? What's the game plan? You got to have a game plan.
I mean,
they won't come to you.
So right now it's just right now it really has to be just go off of what coach can get for me.
Because I feel like I can get you some schools, man. From what I'm seeing right now.
I'll take any help I can take.
Tell me this, man. What's your I mean, we got a lot of positive things we've been talking about. We're talking about all these amazing things. What are one of your setbacks? One of the things that you need to work on?
So, I mean, being a mobile quarterback and going from a school where I was probably the most athletic dude on the field almost every single play, every single game, and I still feel every time I step on the field, even at the 5A level, 4A level, I'm still the most athletic dude.
Exactly.
But knowing I'm going into the college level where there's going to be guys just as athletic or maybe even more athletic than me, it's being more comfortable in the pocket and just being better with my pocket presence. There's times where there's a time in the Ware County game Friday, drop back, my read isn't looking right. I moved to my next one. I just didn't like it. I went off and ran. The linebackers weren't spread out. They were playing a little float coverage with a spy on me. So, it's just being patient in the pocket, letting the play develop, not being so antsy at times. And I have there's plays all over my film from this year and last year where you'll see me sitting in the pocket. But that's probably my biggest setback that hurts me, and being a mobile quarterback, that hurts a lot of mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
How well can you sit in the pocket and be a pocket passer?
Yeah. So how many passing yards this year so far?
Right now, I think I'm around 12 to 1,300 with 900 rushing yards.
900 rushing yards.
Yes, I want to say right at 900 or right below.
So some of that stuff is coaching. Do you have set plays for rushing to actually run or no?
So we have set plays, read option plays. Most of it's read plays. We run a bunch of power read, run a bunch of zone reads, but then we have our QB sweeps. We'll have QB sweeps too. We'll have designed runs. It just depends on the game plan and what he calls. We have our hurry up plays while I'm running designed. Then we have our hurry up plays while I'm zoning it. We have just huddle plays where it just depends on what we're really running. It don't. And then there's times when I drop back and run. So it just depends on what happens. A lot of the times we run a lot. So why not add a read option for me? Because I'm one of the most mobile players, and I believe I'm the best dual threat in the nation, if not.
Yeah.
I believe that. So
I love it.
We go into each week, especially in big weeks like Ware County and all the big games and stuff, with run packages for me, run plays for me, option plays for me, and other stuff like that. And then we have checks where I can check to this play if they give us this front or this defense. I can check.
Do you feel like the offense is more 60-40 run?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So
that could hurt your stats.
Yeah, at times
recruiting.
It just like I said, if you look at last year, Warner Robins threw a bunch. They would throw the ball, and they were about 55, 45.
They had nice receivers.
And I was about to say they had really nice receivers.
And the O-line.
And the O-line's pretty good this year. The O-line was young last year. And so now they're older this year. So we got a pretty much old O-line with maybe, I think, one spot, the guard. Right guard is the young guy.
Sure.
So we're old at the O-line spot. It's just like I tell a lot of people, it just what I talk to the ROC a lot, and we talk about the game plan, and it all is just what's best for us to win this game. What's best in this moment? What are we gonna have a higher chance to win with? Is it gonna be throwing the ball around or running it?
Running the ball, yeah.
Going into most games, we look at these teams, they're not very good at run defense, or if we can find their weakness in the run game. And going into Ware County, they weren't bad in the run game. They weren't great in the run game either. They did very well against our run game. And held us to our first time this year, held us under 100 yards rushing.
Oh, wow.
So, we were able to throw the ball a lot. Their secondary wasn't very elite, and it showed. If you could watch a full game recap on it, you would see we left probably 200 extra yards on the field against them with an extra 3 touchdowns. That's how many we left. When I tell you we could have won that game 42-7, I'm not bluffing. We could have won that game 42-7 going into a region championship game.
Wow. So moving forward, any particular school you would like to actually, if you were to shout out to a school right now and say, I would love to be your next quarterback, what school would that be?
Florida State needs some help.
Florida State needs some help.
But my dad played at Auburn, so of course Auburn. But I want to play in the SEC or play Power 4 ball.
Yeah.
A big school that's recruited me has been UCF. I've had Indiana recruit me. I've had I'm blanking again.
What is it?
SMU recruit me, and Clemson's called about me. A lot of
Okay.
schools have been calling about me.
Yeah.
So it's not like my recruitment's dead. It's
No,
just
not at all.
It's just a lot of just being patient.
Sure.
And a lot of them are.
It's gonna come around when they're gonna all hit at the same time.
They're all recruiting the bigger quarterbacks, the ones that they've been recruiting for the past year or two, that are 4, 3, 5 stars.
Sure.
And they're trying to see if they can get them.
Right,
and then when they don't get them, then it comes to me.
Right.
And I'm just the next one in line.
Right.
So my recruitment's really gonna pick up late November into December.
You know, typically out the Outside the Line podcast, man, people get recruited. Seriously, that's no joke, man. The last 2 or 3, probably last 4 athletes we had on here, we had some recruitment within 6 weeks. At least 3 or 4 schools will hit them up. Seriously. Our goal is to make sure you get on a nice platform so someone can see you. But let's talk about, this is outside the lines. So I think we've stayed inside the lines most of the time. And so I want to go back to your childhood a little bit. We're going to go way back. Just kind of growing up with your brother. You had any sisters? How many brothers?
I got one brother that's full blood, and then my other siblings were all grown.
Okay.
They're my parents' first child.
Exactly.
So I got 2 sisters and an extra brother.
So growing up with your brother at home, tell me, how was that experience, knowing that he's the older brother, knowing that you got this football running behind big brother, and you're trying to play tight end, you're trying to play running back and all this stuff, and then the hit and miss on your quarterback and stuff like that. Tell me how it feels to grow up with a brother
so
that's 4 years older than you.
Yeah, my brother's 4 years older than me. So I mean, when you talk about like I seem more mature, it's because I've always been around my brother. I've been around his friends. I've been around like how he's living. I learned from my brother. I learned from his mistakes and what he's done correct. So I mean, my brother, he's always been hard on me. He's very physical on me, hard on me mentally, because he knows what I want to be. He knows what my goal is, and we both have the same goal to make it to the league and play in the league together. So. Or against each other.
Because your brother's standing 6'4" now, right?
Yes, sir.
How much weight is he? How big is he? Like 230 or what?
About around 225.
225. So he's nice.
My brother, he plays tight end at Limestone, and he's right now the leader in yards at tight end in the nation in Division II, and then number 5, I want to say, in the nation in touchdowns out of everybody in Division II. So. He's getting looks at going to the league next year, this year coming up, going into the draft, or we might end up playing at his last year together at a Division I school.
Right.
So we'll see how that ends up going. But growing up with him, he played quarterback in high school. He went to a school where he had a lot of adversity. He's had way more adversity than me going into his. He was bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me.
Just because of the 4 years.
Yes, he's always been. And especially at quarterback, he was always bigger than me. Like just from if we were the same age, he would always been the bigger one.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
How he grew and everything. And I mean, in football, he played at Snorville High School in Calhoun, Georgia, and he was starting at one point. The coach ended up benching him to put in a kid that's about 5'6", 130 pounds, and the kid was throwing more touchdowns than picks, and my brother didn't even get to really play a full game.
Oh, wow.
And he started playing my brother on defense and at running back, and that was his sophomore year. Because his freshman year they had a different coach, and he was sitting because he was new to football. He started football in 8th grade. He started a little late. He was taking baseball and
baseball guy.
Basketball.
Was he pitching in baseball?
Yes, sir. He was the better. He had more power with his pitches. He was already hitting. In 8th grade, he was hitting around like 80.
In the 8th grade?
80. Yeah.
What did he topped out in varsity? Did he play varsity baseball?
He played varsity baseball. He ended up playing all 4 years. He topped out at, I want to say, like 92, 93 without even taking it serious anymore.
Yeah.
We both kind of stopped taking baseball serious around him going into 9th grade.
Right.
So that's kind of where he kind of just started focusing on football and basketball more because that's where he found his love.
Exactly.
And I mean, whenever he was playing at Snorville, things didn't go well. So he ended up transferring to Gordon Central High School in Calhoun, and he was ineligible his junior year for the transfer rules. And so he didn't get to play his junior year. they were running spread. Our QB coach and everything was there when he gets eligible. And because they didn't make the playoffs, I guess the head coach wanted to change the offense on them and went to wing T.
Oh.
So he had to run wing T his senior year. The QB coach and OC came down to the middle school to coach me because they were trying to get the head coach fired.
Okay.
A whole lot of things. So I could play my freshman year as a starter at that Gordon Central.
Right.
But it ended up not working out. He ended up going to West Georgia.
Yeah.
He played at West Georgia and went for tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Things at West Georgia were looking good at first, and then it just like, dang, he's very athletic. He runs like a 4.
You know anyone at West Georgia now?
I don't think so. All the people I knew, like Ashad, he's now at Valdosta State. Okay. Scooter's at Mercer. Yeah. Cam's at Texas Tech.
I know an O-line down there named Eric Preston.
I don't know him. One of their other O-linemen I know, he transferred with Trey, a year before Trey, to the school that he's at now. Okay. So, but growing up with him, it was just, he's always been pushing me. He's the person I always learned from.
Exactly.
So I always, like, whenever he made mistakes or like in football, I learned from him. I learned how to read a field. I learned how to pass. I learned how to run. He taught me how to play baseball. He taught me how to play basketball. He taught me how to play football. He taught me pretty much everything. My dad, he's disabled. So
let's talk about. You mentioned Auburn. You know that playing. I didn't want to gloss over it. I didn't want to slide through that. What position did he play and what year?
So
your dad at Auburn.
I want to say he played. We're from Columbus, so he played at Columbus High School, and then he ended up going JUCO baseball. He went for, whenever he was at JUCO, he was a second baseman at the time, and that's what he wanted to play. But then his coach, the head coach for his team, had an Auburn scout there that was watching the other team, but he went up to the Auburn scout and said, "Hey, watch this catcher."
Wow.
He said, "Hey, come play catcher if you want to get this offer from Auburn." He ended up playing catcher. He got the offer from Auburn. After he saw him, he brought the head coach, I think a week later, to watch him do some more drills. Gave him the offer. He ended up going to Auburn, I want to say 1970.
Okay.
79, 1980.
Okay, good.
And he ended up playing at Auburn baseball.
Because you was catching at one point.
Yes. So
how was that for you, man? I mean, for Pops to see you, behind the plate, he got excited, I'm sure.
My dad didn't want me to be a catcher.
How did you end up back there?
So we had a pitcher our catcher that caught for me.
Yeah.
He was also a pitcher. Me and him were the best two pitchers. So whenever I pitched, he'd catch. Whenever he pitched, I'd catch. But whenever we let someone else pitch, I'd play shortstop, which I always, pitcher and shortstop were the two main positions I always liked. And my dad, how he always thought of sports was, if you're going to try to make it all the way, let's go to this position that you're going to make the most money in.
Exactly.
So that's how we got into quarterback, because quarterback, make big money. Quarterback's the commander of the team.
Exactly.
And we, growing up, me and my brother have both always been very vocal and very good at being leaders of a team. We never really were a cancer on a team or very attitude problem. We didn't have too many problems with that.
Yeah.
So,
no doubt.
He always wanted us to play shortstop, pitcher, but he didn't mind it. But I hated catcher. My knees was hurting so much. But I always just liked pitching. I like being on the mound.
So basketball. I mean, 6'2", 200 pounds. I mean, any coach would love to have you on the basketball court.
So basketball was my main sport probably my whole life. I loved baseball at first because of my dad, but basketball was really what I always loved.
Sure.
And whenever I was playing basketball, I've always been a point guard.
Okay.
So at the school up in North Georgia, if you ain't 5'5", 5'7", 5'10",
they won't let you play point.
They won't let you play point. So I played travel ball, and I played circuit. I played big ball and everything.
So you played some big boards then.
So then I played point guard there. So I wasn't gonna get no recruitment in high school. So my freshman year, I didn't get to start. I was a 6-man, and I ended up leading us in points per game. I had 15 points. About 15, 14 points per game. And
6-man of the year.
I won 6-man of the year. I don't know where the little thing I got.
So you actually got that?
Yeah, I actually got the 6-man of the year. And then my sophomore year, I ended up going for, I want to say, around right under 20 points per game.
Right.
I mean, I ended up coming. There was two brothers, Jeremiah and Jaquinnis Hurd at Model High School. Jeremiah is playing offensive tackle at Tennessee University right now.
Okay.
And Jaquinnis is playing college basketball at a Division II school, I want to say. Sure. I can't remember which one. But they ended up winning. They're brothers, and it was they're 1 year apart. They ended up winning co-player of the year in the region. Wow. Everybody in the knew, even the dad, because I played AAU ball with them.
Right.
So even the dad, like once AAU season came out, he said, "Yeah, there's no question, you should have won that."
Oh my!
But we ain't going to say nothing.
Right. Exactly.
But we ended up having a good year that year. We ended up playing in the Sweet 16, lost to South Atlanta. So
right.
And we ended up beating South Atlanta my junior year in the first round of playoffs in football.
Cool.
But I ended up tearing my knee my junior year. I tore it the very first game. We thought it was a sprained MCL. It was torn. Played through it the whole season. Had a really good season. Threw for 2,500 yards, 30 touchdowns. Don't remember the interceptions. It was a little bit higher, around I think 7 or 6. Then I had 1,200 rushing yards with 12 touchdowns, I want to say. But we had a pretty good year that year, and we ended up losing in the Sweet 16 against Fellowship Christian. They have a very good tackle named Joshua Petty, I want to say. He's 4-star, 5-star guy.
Right,
I don't really remember, but he was very good. I mean, we had a good year that year, but going into basketball season, couldn't play because I went and got my MRI. They said I have a torn knee, so I had to get surgery. So then
meniscus or what?
MCL.
MCL.
My MCL was torn, and then they did some cleanup on my cartilage and extra
How
damage.
they feeling now?
It's feeling really good. So going to
you just rushed for 157, you know.
Yeah.
That play of the week. So
going to Coach Earl, brick by brick.
Exactly.
He's a very big person, like in me getting back to where I'm at now.
Exactly.
Being healthy, being able to take the hit, being to make my knees basically very bulletproof, very stable. I mean, we worked from started probably in April, whenever I really started being able to start moving again. Started in April when spring ball came. Took that month of just focusing on football. Once the summer hit, it was wake up, go to morning lifts, practice, go to Coach Earl. Just it was the same thing over and over again. I mean, I'm very, very, very basic. Like, my life has been around sports, and my life is all about sports, and that's all I really know is sports. So
let me ask you this: we brought up your dad, and you mentioned he was disabled. What particular happened?
So whenever he was in high school, freshman year, middle school, freshman year, around there, he tore his ACL like 3 times. And back then they didn't know, like, you needed surgeries. They didn't know all about that.
They just glossed over.
But once they ended up like having the technology to figure it out and everything, he ended up, I think his sophomore year, tore it again, and he had to get surgery to fix a ACL that got torn like 5 times.
Oh my God.
So kept having like injuries in football. He would play. So he played basketball as well, but he didn't get to play really any in high school because he played football, tear his knee or something.
Right.
Missed basketball.
How tall is your dad?
For baseball. He's gonna say on his good leg like 6'2", but on his bad leg 5'8". But he's really about 5. He's about 5'10", 5'11". He's a little shorter. He's about 5'10", 5'11". But my mom is 5'9". So,
she's tall for mom.
My
she pretty athletic, your mom?
She's gonna say she's
just
for her not to be mad at me. Yes, very. She was a track star.
Oh, so tell us a little bit about your mom. Let's dig into that a little bit. I know moms can be real sensitive. They can actually cuddle the boys a little bit. Actually, be a little tougher than the dads at times.
Yes.
Talk to me about mom.
My mom, she's my rock, man. Right. She's always there for me emotionally, mentally. I mean, my dad, he's very hard on me and my brother about a lot of things, and he's not very good whenever it comes to like emotional, like being the rock, but that's what the mom is for. I mean, she grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and whenever she moved down here, met my dad and everything. After her first marriage didn't work out, and I mean, she she's just always been there for me whenever I had like problems going on mentally or other things like that going on. I could always talk to her, and even now, I still have a great relationship with my mom.
So she plays an important role in your student life and your athletic life.
Very important.
Personal life.
Very important life.
That's good. That's good. What are your academics and stuff looking like now, man?
I mean, they're looking pretty good. I got a 3.5 something GPA, and then I'm graduating early. So right now, I'm finishing up my last credits so I can graduate early and go on to college to compete for a starting job.
Exactly.
So I won't be playing basketball this year, sadly. But I mean, they're looking good. Take some classes at Central Georgia Tech. Take a class at Georgia Military College as well. And I mean, it's just discipline. I mean,
let me ask you this: is that part of Warner Robins' culture? As far as having great teachers around you, the principals, the teachers, the counselors, or is it just a discipline you've been your parents have instilled into you?
Since I haven't really been at Warner Robins, I came into Warner Robins last January, so I can't really say too much about the teachers. I mean, whenever I was here for that one semester, teachers were good.
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't have any classes at the high school no more. I take all my classes at college. So
okay.
I mean, it's always just been discipline. I mean, my brother is like just kind of explained how college life is. I mean, how I'm living right now is a college life. I wake up, I go to football meetings, then I go to Central Georgia Tech for my class at 8 o'clock, finish at 9, and then I'm done for the day. I just got to do my online class, and then my 2 online classes from Georgia Military College and Central Georgia Tech. Then I go to my next class that I have in person at Central Georgia Tech the next day. So it just alternate days, A day, B day. And that's just how, it's just a college lifestyle. It's preparing me for whenever I get to the next level.
To me. Sound like a game plan to me. I mean, you'll slide right into college and do very well.
That's the goal. I mean, that's the blessing of having an older brother that playing college ball.
He's been setting you up pretty well. So let me ask you about 5 years from now. What do you see yourself 5 years from now? I want to go into 10 years from now. I feel like it's a stretch, but at the same time, we still need to look forward. And, really jumping into 5 years, I want to talk about, where you see yourself this coming summer. I know we talked about college and everything. So I wanted to think about this summer and then skip to 5 years. And who would you love to be when you're 25, 30 years old?
So, this summer, going to college, this spring, competing for a job. Hopefully, I mean, I go out there, I believe I'm going to be prepared to compete for a job, get a starting job. It's going to be a process throughout the summer. I mean, my goal is to enjoy the college lifestyle, but also understand that I'm here for business. It's all business. And that level is a business level. So going into it, I want to be really focused on my academics and focusing on my career, trying to make it to the next level past college, making it to the league. But, I mean, 5 years from now, I see myself in the league. I see myself hopefully getting drafted in three years from now and being in the league for 2 years. But I mean, I look into the future a lot. I kind of look at how is this in this moment going to affect my future. I mean, I try to always set myself up to be right in the future. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm in a position to let my mom not have to worry about having to pay bills, not having to worry about is she going to be able to get this or that whenever she thinks something looks good. I want her to be able to, hey, son,
this is what I want. Yeah.
Can you get me this? And I can just send her money. There you go. Get whatever you want.
You can just put all the money in her bank. I'm sure she'll be happy about that.
I don't know about all the money in the bank, but I'll give her a good, nice allowance. I'll give her a more allowance that she gives me.
Okay.
But I don't want my mama to work no more. I don't want my pops to work no more.
Excellent.
That's the goal that me and my brother both have. I mean, if I'm fortunate to end up marrying the girl I'm with now, I don't want her to have to work a day. That's my goal. Even if like the league isn't what I end up going to be in, I want to be able to set a future where I can end up getting generational wealth where my wife my kids and maybe even their kids don't have to work if they don't want to.
Wow.
But I also don't want to give, whenever it comes down to my kids, especially when it comes down to my boys, I don't want them to, they're not going to get everything given to them. They're not going to really get anything given to them. It's going to be how I listen to a lot of what Coach Prime says and how he's kind of molded his kids and, the Ball brothers, LeVar Ball, how he's done his kids. I mean, they were very vocal on discipline and not just giving things and not letting them think, oh, if I don't make it here, if you tell me that your dream is to make it to the league, I'm going to tell my kids, all right, you're not going to get nothing from me. There's no fallback. It's make it to the league or you don't get nothing.
That's it. Yeah.
And if you can't make it to the league, better find something to fall back on so you can make money for yourself. But if something does happen where they need money, they're struggling, I'm not ever going to be like saying no. I'm always be there for them. Exactly. That's my thought process with it. And then when it comes down to my daughter, if they want to come play sports, that's going to be the same thing for them.
Exactly.
But I'm going to be a little bit more softer with the daughter.
So let's just say, man, football doesn't pan out. Like, I mean, who would you love to be? Engineer, teacher, coach?
So
we don't have to touch on that much, but
I would say, I have a lot of thought processes.
Doctor, lawyer.
So my mom always even my girl, she tells me I might need to be a lawyer. I can argue with anybody. I can kind of, once I get into arguing, and even everybody on the team, they'll say, like, they don't even try to argue with me. I'll win an argument. Even if I'm in the wrong, I even win it sometimes. So
at least you've been honest with me.
But I just, like I said, I love coaching. I've always been around the game, so coaching is always a thought process for me. And if I'm going to coach, my thought process is I'm going to coach at the highest level, coach at the league, coach at college football. I'm not going to just stop at a high school level. That's just not how I am. I want to be able to, if I'm going to do something, I want to be at the highest level of it.
Exactly.
If I'm going to, of course, whenever I go in, this is a great thing about college football now. And just being a college athlete is, even if things don't work out as you for a player, you get a lot of connections in business world in a lot of different ways because you meet people that are going to end up making money, making their way into life, and they're going to end up, a lot of people are going to make it big because they're at the college, they're learning, and they end up being able to set their future up as well as I'm setting mine up.
Exactly.
So whenever it comes into coaching, I'm gonna be able to have connections to be after college, be a grad assistant, or I can be a position coach because I know this coach that just became an OC. And that's just how I kind of am gonna work it out. And then of course I'm minoring in business, majoring in sports management.
Okay.
So I'm also gonna be focused on being able to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
I want to have a business. I want to have multiple businesses by the end of it, and that's what the connection is gonna help me with. Be able to have connections in the business world, so I can end up hopefully getting multiple businesses in the multi-millions. But that's just. That it's gonna start from the beginning, from the bottom, and everything. So it's a lot of just hard work whenever it comes down to that. But of course, a lot of people say there's no plan B, and for me, I really don't see that as a plan B. That just is really just what I'm gonna do, even when plan A works. Exactly. That's my goal. Once plan A works, I'm still planning on once I retire, going to be a coach. Once plan A works, I'm still, while I'm playing, still gonna be having a business. So I'm not just making money off my contract. I'm making money not just off of sponsorship deals. I'm making money off of my own businesses. So once I retire, I can retire and still be getting income. And then I can go coach. I can go do what I want and enjoy life that type of way.
Sound like a plan. Sound like a big plan, man. Back to Outside the Line podcast. You mentioned your girl. So I'm thinking that they're fairly new. Because you just moved here, and we're
long distance right now.
Okay, you're long distance right now. Okay, so I was thinking about the prom is coming up, and I don't know if you'll be able to participate in that because of going to the tech school or not. Or was she's out of school, or how's that?
So dances and stuff, I've never really enjoyed dances, so I don't really ever go. And her dance, I'd go to, but for me, I ain't really worried about it. She didn't really even want to go to the homecoming one with me, so I didn't want to go anyway. So we just decided to spend the time together. But prom and stuff, that's April, I want to say. So
Right.
I'm gonna be already at college and everything. I mean, I could participate. I can go to
Right.
any event that the high school has,
Sure.
but I just don't really have the.
It's not you.
I just don't really feel like it.
So what is your drip really like, man? Is this what you wearing now? You wearing just sweats and tennis shoes?
Very, very basic.
Okay.
I don't. I
what
just try
about
to
if you
dress
stepping
comfortable.
out one night?
I'm
man?
stepping out. I'll put some. Gotta put something on.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
put on some jeans. Put on some little kicks, and
Right.
a nice little vintage tee.
Okay.
And I mean, just rock something. But
That's what's up.
I don't really step out much. Kind of just try to dress comfortable.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't really care to like impress too much right now, especially whenever I'm not very rich.
Right.
Don't got a bunch of money on me, so
Right.
just being what I got. I love it, and just enjoying being comfortable, I guess.
So I noticed you didn't have a phone. I'm thinking that you have an Android phone.
No, I got me an iPhone. Hold on, yeah, I got.
No,
me
I was
an
just
iPhone.
joking. I was just joking. So I'm gonna give you this 1-2 punch here. So as we know, you're an iPhone guy, right? What do you have against? Do you have anything against the Samsungs and the Droids?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Just got an iPhone.
You just
I got made fun of whenever I was in, I want to say 7th grade.
Yeah.
I had an Android. I had a little, I think it was a Motorola.
Yeah.
I had that for like 2 months.
Right.
People were clowning
They were
me.
clowning you.
Boy, I was like, no. But I got that iPhone back real fast.
You got that quick?
Yeah, real quick.
So okay, we got some Skittles over there, man. What are you doing? Skittles or you doing M&Ms?
Skittles.
Skittles all day.
Easily.
Okay.
Skittles is so I'm big on gummies and
Right.
Skittles.
Okay.
So
what about pregame? Are you eating candy pregame? A lot of guys getting that sugar high, man.
So like on the bus trips, I be getting Skittles. I be getting gummies.
Right.
I get some beef jerky and I get some chips.
Right.
But like if you talking about like whenever it comes to like a home game, because like I don't have class or anything, so I just be
good.
I go to like Moe's, Chipotle.
Right.
That's really where I eat. Or Hibachi Grill. I go there. I'll eat something good then. But
Exactly.
on a road game, especially them far ones, I just grab some snacks.
That's what's up.
I be munching on them Skittles for sure. Skittles be the best. I ain't gonna lie.
Good. Them yours, man. You can crack them anytime you want, man.
But,
so we're gonna move on a little bit further, man. I know as far as recruiting, we hadn't had a lot of schools to really ask you to actually sign on the dotted line right now. What is one thing that you can do right now that you feel that you can do right now to get that SEC school to call on you and say, "Hey, Sky, we want this to happen"? Do people call you Sky or what? Do you have a nickname? It
just depends on who you are. People call me Skyler. People call me Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when people ask, like, if a coach is asking, of course, Skyler wins. But like, if just some like homeboy or something asking, I'll be like Sky.
Right.
Or like if a girl asking, I'll be like Sky.
Right. Exactly.
So
okay.
I mean,
it's a little cooler. It's a little chill.
It's just it's easier to say.
It's easy. Okay. So what are your thought process for us that, man? Because if it was one thing you can do right now to get a call in 2 or 3 weeks, what is it you can do? What you feel like you can do? Or do you feel like you've done all you can do?
Like I've always told people that a lot of people ask about my recruitment because a lot of people don't understand how I'm a no-start recruit. Because especially like that game and a lot of the games I played.
I mean, you're legit, man.
I mean, I like to think so too. It's like recruitment don't seem so, but I kind of just I just keep saying all I gotta do is just keep winning games.
Yeah.
If I can make it to 15 games and win a game in that dome,
it's on.
There's no way I'm not getting an opportunity. And it's not like I don't have opportunities. There's a lot of schools talking to me like that are right there with me and
they're sitting on it. Yeah.
It's just a lot of them are just like I said, they're waiting on that. They're just looking at these other recruits, and if they don't commit, I'm the next guy. And I mean that sucks. That I'm gonna end up getting offers late, and it's not gonna be you're my guy type of offer. It's gonna be you're my guy, but I did
go prove yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I had guys before you.
Sure,
sure.
I mean,
I've
always been
an underdog. Yeah. I don't mind it. So I'm gonna just go in like how everybody didn't. A lot of people want to say, "Oh, this new quarterback coming off a knee injury, he's just a runner, can't really throw, yada yada. He can't do all that running." And Middle Georgia, this and that, all that rah everybody was saying before the season. Ain't nobody saying that now.
So let me ask you this, man. You got Perry coming up. That's a big game. Everybody's watching the game. That's a nice recruiting game.
Very
I
big.
guarantee you some scouts will be out there.
I mean,
You better put the best numbers up during that time, man.
That's the goal. I mean, I don't really think too much of like if there's scouts of the game.
Not individual. I want you to
win.
win that game.
Oh yeah, that's just all I think. I'm just like, just go out here and win the game. I mean, how I always look at games is there's no point in me going into a game nervous or anything because if I'm not nervous Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, why am I nervous on Friday?
True enough.
If I had a great week Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's no point of being nervous on Friday. Right. If it was a bad week,
so is that self-talk or is it just what you believe? Do you talk to yourself and say, hey, I can do this, I can do that?
Oh, that's just what I believe. I mean, I just like every time, whenever we have a good week or like individual, if I have a great week of practice, I sit there. I'm just.
You watch a lot of film?
Very much. I watch a lot of film. So I mean, we watch film. We have meetings in the morning. I mean, we watch film a lot. We have 2 meetings a day where we're watching film. Coach Hazare, he sends me cut-ups of the film. I watch film probably 4 to 5 times a day. Right. I watch it meetings, I watch it in class, watch it. Oh, I might have not just said that one, but I watch it whenever I'm eating. I watch it before I go to bed. Sure. I mean, I've even watched film with my girl before. So exactly. It's like film. I live and eat and breathe football. And I know where I'm trying to be. That's how football is. I mean, I love the Netflix series Quarterback and Receiver because it shows the lifestyle of the top players. I mean, that's just how I kind of try to live my life. I mean, I go into every week just watching film, knowing that if my team and me are having a great week throughout the of practice, we're gonna go into Friday just fine. And I mean, we've had a great week against. We had a great week this week going against Ware. I wasn't nervous for the game.
Exactly.
Things didn't work out.
Have you ever found yourself nervous?
I mean, freshman year, nervous for my first game. Because
I mean, honestly, I'm just being like I found myself getting nervous at an old age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for some reason, I overcome it quickly. You know, when the opportunity is there. You know, I don't know if it's the build up, the anxiety getting to the game, or is it the nervousness. So you don't have any emotional feelings going towards the game.
I just don't be nervous. Okay. I'd be so anxious to get out there, but I'd be like, I don't really try to think of the game on the bus rides or like anything. When people ask me, "Are you ready?" I say, "No," because I'll look at the time. I'll be like, "It's 1 o'clock." Right. I'm ready, but I'm not going to sit there and psych myself out because if you sit here and psych yourself out from 1 o'clock all the way till game time, by kickoff, you're gonna be so psyched out, you're gonna be tired. Yeah. So I kind of just like relax. That's your moment. I'll be on TikTok, I'll be on Instagram, just chilling. And then once we hit that bus, like if it's a home game, once we do the demon walk, sure, it's all locked in. Once my headphones are on, because once I know I got my headphones on,
they still had them demon eyes sitting up there, man. You come out, when you leave the gym.
Yes.
On the building.
Yes, I think so.
Man, them demon eyes. I used to be scared of those things, man. Going down there to play football back in the day.
Well, I don't even think I've noticed them.
I'm telling you, a lot of schools noticed them demon eyes back in the day. They really used to display the demon eyes. You know, this is a long time ago, back in the 80s and 90s. We'll ride down there for a football game, and next thing you know, you look to your right and you see the demon, the big old eyes and red. We're like, we finna get our ass stomped down here, right? Considering Warner Robin has so many state championships over the years, do you feel any pressure or getting there to make that happen?
Nah, not really. I mean, I kind of just pressure's a part of the game. Playing quarterback, you're gonna have pressure.
Exactly.
At this point, playing the game and being who I am, I don't really have pressure anytime I play.
I can see that.
I go out and play and just enjoy the game. It's the game I love, so there's no point of making it bigger than what it is. I just look at everything as when people try to be like, oh, if you don't do this and that, I'm like, my goal is to do that, and I'm going to go enjoy the game. If it ends up not happening, there's a reason why it didn't happen. God has that in plan for me, and I just do whatever God has in store for me. Exactly. And that's the goal.
I love it, man. I love it. We're going to take a break, man. We're going to take a break right now. I saw some nice videos, man. Northside game, Ware County, and also Houston County game. So we're gonna let the fans see that. So we're gonna take that break right now. Let you guys go to that video. Peace out.
That nigga hurt. Yeah. Hurt. What the hell on earth?
All right. Welcome back to Outside the Line podcast with Mr. Skyler Williams from Warner Robins High School here. He is the quarterback, 6'2", 215, 220 now. And they have a major game coming up real soon this weekend. You guys need to go check out Warner Robins versus Perry High School there. But man, that video, man, those videos were super nice, man. I saw the footwork, I saw the arm strength. But we want to talk about this picture here, man. It's a super nice picture here, man. I noticed it has raindrops in it. There's a lot of emotions going into that picture there. That to me, that shows the love of the game. And I was wondering what these little spots were, and it was rain because I had to look at your helmet there. Can you explain that picture to me, man? When is that?
When was that? That one's right there. That's that's right after one of the touchdowns I had. That was right after my rushing touchdown. So whenever I ended up no, that's after the passing touchdown to Nick Linder. So I ended up getting lit after that one because we were sitting there. I want to say it was tie game called Glow. Sat there, I saw the one-on-one. I knew I was throwing that. Right. So saw that, put it right in the corner. He caught that, and I mean, it was a great throw, great catch by him. He went off the line and made a great restack. I mean, Nick's been a great player. He had a great game against Ware County. I think 4 catches, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, I want to say.
Nice.
He had a really good game, and he plays cornerback. That's his main position. Him and Rashawn Dinkins come over to play offense and play receiver for us.
Excellent.
So, I mean, they both had a big game at receiver and on defense this game. But, I mean, that's just big game I had circle, and I just had a lot of emotion whenever I made that throw. I mean,
I love it, man.
Just being in a game like that, the whole time I was just excited knowing that it was just a QB duel and just how the game was ending up going. Yeah. I just knew if they just kept giving me the ball whenever it was time, they weren't going to stop us this whole game. I knew they wasn't.
Get you the sign. We're going to get the camera person to come in and watch you.
You might not need to watch me.
John Hancock on there, man. Yeah. Anywhere you want it. Sign that, man. Thanks a lot, man. We're going to take that picture and we're going to add a frame to it. Thank you, sir. Good, sir. So, how's your mental status going into a game, man? And do you take time out for self mental checks, or is it just all physical for you? I know you have that moment where you kind of let the game, let yourself be free from the game. But prior to getting on the actual bus, maybe being at home, maybe a day before or that morning, tell me what it's really like on game day and how your mental preparation is.
So, day in the life of the game day, wake up. I don't have class or anything, so wake up around. I always wake up pretty early because I'm too anxious. So it's around like 6:30ish around there.
Oh yeah.
End up going to get me some coffee at either Dunkin' or 7 Brew.
Right.
Same coffee, caramel, iced coffee with some cream and sugar in there.
That's what's up.
But I mean, I read the Bible on the Bible app. I always read a scripture on my phone. I have a little quote that I read every day.
Okay. Would you like to share that? Or?
The quote right now says, hey, lively up yourself. I mean, there's quotes I'll just say, like, it's just quotes to keep me focused and keep me positive throughout the day. Sure. I mean, but whenever it's game day, I change it to a different wallpaper. I change it to my wallpaper that is scripture based. It tells me like whenever I feel anxious, when I feel unhappy or different things, go to this verse. I mean, before every game, I always go to the anxious one because whenever I wake up, I'm anxious.
Sure.
And I read that, and then it usually gets me very calm. And then, you go into the training room, always do treatment if I have anything banged up, always get my shoulder right, do some warm up throughout the day, and then do a deep stretch. And whenever I get on the bus, it's just listen to music, staying locked in. When we do the walk, just walking around, listen to music, usually Future, Rod Wave, Young Boy, Uzi, a lot of different people. I have a lot of different artists.
That's right.
And then once we get into warm up, I have a prayer before I walk out on the field.
Okay.
Just pray just for my safety, everybody's safety on our team, the opposing team.
So is that prayer with the entire team, or
this is with me, myself?
Okay, excellent.
We have a prayer with the entire team before doing the demon walk.
Sure.
But I always pray for myself, pray for my family, pray for everybody that supports me, and even my enemies and everybody that's opposing me.
Yes, sir.
The opposing team, the opposing fans. I want everybody to go be able to make it home safe and everything. So I always pray for everybody's safety and wellness.
Love it.
And then just once it's game time, it's game time.
It's game time.
At the end of the day, if I accidentally hurt somebody, sorry, but I'm trying to win a game. So
let's take that photo, man, and walk it over to the Wall of Fame.
Where are we gonna place this? That open spot right there?
Yeah, that'll be nice.
We'll put it right next to Ike.
There you go. Yeah, good. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Make our way back over. What size shoe you wear, man?
13 and a half.
13 and a half. I got a 13. That's as far as I can get it, man. As far as I can get it. So, man, I want to give you this brochure, man. I'm a certified trainer myself, strength and conditioning coach, coach for Team USA. This is my facility where I train a lot of athletes at. I know Earl has done some amazing things with you, and I encourage you to stick with Earl even beyond this, on your breaks and things like that. Summer breaks, winter breaks, and holidays once you're in college, because Earl can actually get you to a lot of places, man. He's done some amazing things over the years. So Brick by Brick is an excellent facility. We also have a band for you. Just slide that on for me there. And that's TNG, the Next Generation Sports and Fitness. So, and here we're all about not only the young kids having to make it to the next generation, but we thinking 25 and 30-year-olds, they're still having to make it to the next generation. So I have some adults that come in here and they found themselves unhealthy. And then we find a way to get them to the next generation. So it never stops. Always train from 8 to 88. We just had an amazing kid to come through here and lose over 100 pounds. And so we're putting in the work here at Game On Training. I got a special saying that I say, man. I just want to leave that with you. And you've been so encouraging for me, man. It's love. I really enjoy hearing a young man come in and be very vocal and driven and know exactly where you want to go. And you put in the work. I can only see great things from you. Once again, thank you for coming to Outside the Line podcast. But one of my favorite sayings is wherever you are, be there. Okay. Wherever you are, be there basically means if you're here at Outside the Line podcast, okay, make sure you're here and nowhere else. Okay. If you're going to visit a school, if you're in school, if you're playing ball, if you're playing Perry, right, make sure you're on that field and nowhere else. Okay. If you're drinking this water, make sure you taste that water. Okay. Wherever your feet are, make sure you're there. And if you do that, you can do anything in life. Okay. So what I have my athletes to say is be there. After I say wherever you are, they will say be there. So I would like to do that with you. A lot of my outside the line clients that come through. So far, I think we might have missed one or two that didn't say that, but I end up calling them and making sure that happens. So I'm gonna say it right now with you. That's wherever you are.
Be there.
Be there.
Yeah.
And I know I kind of snuck that on
That
you.
was kind of smooth.
But check this out. Check this out, man. I know you're very inspiring. I know you're very motivating, and you have that awesome drive that I like to see, right? But there's a lot of kids out there, man, that's looking up to Skyler, you know, that's saying, hey, Skyler's my guy. You know, I want to be like Skyler, you know, just like you did your brother. So if you don't mind looking into the camera, man, and just talk to a young kid or talk to someone and tell them, give them some kind of motivation or maybe motivate the kid and tell them, you know, who you're going to be moving forward.
I mean, always something that I'd always tell someone if they ask me, like, if they need help with anything, is don't ever overthink something that you can't control. Always just focus on what you can control and don't worry about any outside factors. If something happens that you can't control, don't let that burden you or hurt you. Whatever you can control, and just control that and focus on your job and your assignment in sports or in life. That's all you got to focus on. And I think going through that and not trying to do too much will end up pushing you better and pushing you further into life and just make everything easier for you.
Wow. That was perfect. You know, to me, that reminds me of wherever you are, be there. You know, they're kind of similar there. So we're going to get out of here, man. Once again, thank you for coming to Outside the Line podcast.
Sure.
I really appreciate it. One more time, we're going to say it one more time. Wherever you are, be there. Be there.
Sure.